messed something up somewhere. Give me a second. Say again something.
Like I said, all he has is just his shield. That's really all he has, but it's a really good shield.
I just want you to know that I think I messed up your audio. So
Oh,
you may
really?
not have been saying anything for the whole time. But we'll work that out later. It's fine.
It won't matter. They will understand
Basically,
the
you agree with
arguments.
everything that I've said so far. Well, that's
Yes.
that's summary of what's happened so far.
Yeah. And that's basically what's happening. We've been agreeing on most things. It's just that I think Clara is
Well,
just
we
default S
have
tier, but you thought
different
gameplay.
we have different reasons for agreeing, but we ultimately agree in that I think gameplays would make Clara S, but I think memeableness makes her an S tier.
You know what, Matt?
I said the words wrong. I meant to say that gameplay makes her an A tier, memes make her S tier.
My body is ready.
Yeah. And I say that she's just S tier flat out.
Yes.
At the very least.
Hey, sorry, we were talking about Japard. Explain that all over again, please. Sorry.
He's the only like AoE shielder in the game.
That is true. Well, I mean, technically, Fire MC is AoE shielding.
Yeah, but let's be honest, that's barely any shield.
Well, it's true. But continue.
But I would say like Japard like pretty much gives you an entire second health bar when he uses his ultimate. But that's the downside here is that you have to charge up his ultimate, and if 3 turns have passed, you lose that shield, and if he doesn't have his ultimate, it sucks.
Now, that is basically the reason why I say I would probably put him lower and into like B tier. Is because ultimately it's like the same situation with Bailu, right? It's like they both have their ultimates are really, really good. The rest of their kit is kind of terrible. Like Japard's
I would
skill,
say like Japard's skill is worse than Bailu's skill.
Yes, I would agree with that. I do think his overall ultimate is still better, and I think it's enough for me to want to put him up in B tier.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But his like, it's so again, it's another thing where it's like a bit counterintuitive because like Bailu, she wants to heal everyone up to max, but she either can't or she has like passives that like save people from dying, which would make it pointless anyway.
Or Japard wants his ultimate up all the time, but sometimes he can't because he gets like frozen or tangled or imprisoned.
Not just that, he also freezes other people. He freezes enemies, and ideally to increase his energy. Rarely. I know that's my point though. It's like his skill is very terrible, but when it does, but you want to use it in order to give him more energy. But if he does freeze someone, that means the enemy isn't attacking him as often, which would be another way he gets energy. So it's like, it's very counterintuitive. You don't actually want to freeze people as Japard, but he has an ability dedicated to freezing people, and his E1 even gives him like a higher chance to freeze people.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just very counterintuitive to how you would actually want to use him. And I find it very silly. And I also think his self-revive is probably more pointless than Bailu's team revive. Because who on earth is going to kill Japard through all of his defense? Like, just name someone.
That actually happened to me.
Really?
Yeah. I was trying to do, like, the level 4 stuff, see if I could just brute force my way through it, and yeah, they broke through the entirety of the shield in one turn.
Fair enough.
But his self-revive did nothing anyway, so it didn't matter.
I feel like revive mechanics, especially in this game, they're not necessarily like a good thing. They're just a reminder that yeah, you're gonna lose anyway. It's just not gonna take a little longer than it was going to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it does give the false sense of hope.
Yes, you're right. It's a false sense of hope. So yeah, no, I feel like both these characters are very similar in that their ultimates are very good. The rest of their kit is garbage. That's pretty much it. Let's move on to Herta.
D or C?
I think I'd go with D. Because her damage is pretty low. She's useful in AoE content and farming. But
I would say that her what is it, like her passive thing where if they're at half HP she does a follow-up attack actually does hit really hard. May not hit as hard as a lot of things, but it does hit pretty hard.
You can build her and she can do damage. And she is better than Arlen who kills himself. So I'd say probably D.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Himiko. I personally really like Himiko, but she's also pretty like. I think I'd probably put her a little bit above Herta because of one very special reason. and that is that she has synergy with Kafka because she can burn people.
Yeah.
But like realistically, they're pretty similar to each other. Just one's fire, one's ice. I do think Himiko is just like a little bit better because she has more uses just in general.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no, I think C, she's kind of just okay. And you know what? You know, at least no one will ever be Arlen bad. You know.
Yeah. Now Hook, I say is a bit up for grabs.
I don't like Hook.
I don't like Hook at all. I don't like her personality.
I've seen the calculations. I've seen the stuff. Technically, she's better than Himiko as far as DPS is concerned. But this is another word. It's like similar to Clara, where I put Clara in S because of the memes. I think I would probably put.
Just annoying.
Yes, I agree. I would put her in D because I just don't like the character. Do you have any other thoughts on this one?
No.
I mean, again, it's very hard to be Arlen levels of bad, so I'm gonna put her in D.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any strong feelings about this man?
Yeah, I think he's extremely good. Extremely good.
Like up here somewhere?
Yeah.
Like up to the roof?
Well, not up through the roof.
Oh.
Like probably A.
In our first A tier.
Yeah, I don't think he is like broken powerful like Sela or Blade, but I do think that he does do really good AoE damage, and that's the type of playstyle I like to play, so he fits me.
I agree. If I ever say that Jingyuan is bad, it's only in comparison to like the actual like top tier DPS units. He's still way above most other characters. It's just that he does have certain like caveats to him. Like for instance, if he's ever crowd controlled, his biggest source of damage just doesn't do anything. Yeah,
which is a really major downside in my opinion.
At the very least, other characters when they get crowd controlled, it's
just like, oh, I don't get an attack in a turn kind of thing.
Yeah. And the very next instant that they're done being crowd controlled, if they have like their ultimate up, they can just go. Whereas Blade, he has to wait for his Lightning Lord to get all the way back up there. But I said Blade. I don't know.
Yeah, you did.
Sorry, I meant Jingyuan. I was thinking about Blade.
They don't. As soon as he's a Lightning Lord, they do.
Yeah.
They do. But since we mentioned her, we might as well put her where she rightfully belongs. Sela, S tier, right there.
I think she's at the top of S tier, personally. I think she's literally the strongest.
She only has one downside, and that is she's skill point hungry.
Yes, that is very, very true. But I think her overall kit makes up for it. She has tons of like damage sources in it. Just
like I'm pretty sure her skill damage like is more than 90% of the roster skill damage.
Yeah, yes, and she is speed. That's very nice.
Disappear into the sea of butterflies.
Because like everything about her kit is all about dealing tons of damage and moving really, really fast. Her skill gives her more speed.
Thing is,
her basic attack.
I think the truly shocking thing is that she was the first rate up character.
Yes. I mean, they knew she was that good.
Yeah, but I'm just like meaning that if you came into the game like when Jingyuan came out, you missed out on Sela entirely. Now, she could get a rerun eventually, but we know that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, well, you know, I just find it funny that my Sela, my very poorly built Sela, is still outperforming my fairly well-built Blade, and I find that very funny.
Yeah. Well, imagine if you had them both really well built. Yes. Really well built.
Yes, that's true. I mean, all I really need to do for Sela is improve her crit rate. And then I'd be golden.
For some reason, whenever I need to improve a character, I can never get anything for that character. But then I like go for another character, and I suddenly get things for that character that I was trying to do before. Because one of the new relics, I got quantum damage main stat, and then like crit rate, crit damage, and then speed. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, and you know, and speaking of that. You know, another factor in favor of Sela?
What?
She also has like the best DPS relic set.
Yeah, I know.
Because you just get
like
free 20% defense shred every time you do anything.
Yeah, and she already does like a penetration, doesn't she? Like with her resurgence.
Yes.
It's like a 50%
Yes, she does.
quantum penetration. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a character that feels she's like the freaking sniper rifle of this game. Does tons of damage.
A Barrett 50 cal.
Yes. Very good. Anyway, let's talk about Kafka.
Kafka.
She's next.
Now,
I've used her in the trial, and I've seen the potential for this character. I think she's S. I think she's ridiculously strong.
Yeah, but again, I'm pretty sure where most of her damage lies is if there's DOTs on the enemy team.
That is true, but you also gotta remember that her own DOT, it's like it's like a near like 300% multiplier as opposed to like ones like Sampa who has like a 40% multiplier.
Yeah, I know. I'm not discrediting that. I'm just saying that if there's no DOTs, you're not going to start the fight doing massive damage. Is what I'm saying. It takes time.
That's true.
It takes like a couple turns.
I mean, her probably most direct competition as far as like AOE lightning DPS goes would be Jing Yuan, and I do feel like she's better than Jing Yuan, just because her damage is easier to set up than Jing Yuan's. If you want him to do max damage, you need 10 stacks on Lightning Lord, which is pretty hard to do most of the time. Unless you start, except for like the start of the battle with this technique. But yeah, you were saying, sorry.
Most of the time you can get like, 7 or 8 stacks, which is still really strong damage.
It is, but it's definitely not the max. And
yeah,
Kafka,
it's definitely not the
max
max.
Is way easier to attain for like literally every turn after like the first turn.
That's why she's S.
Like easier to use, tons of damage, just very, very good. S tier.
Anyway, the next character, I don't think we need to say much about him. He's S tier.
I literally have never stopped using him even once since getting this man.
He has an automatic healing / cleanse move.
Yes.
Which is way better than any other healer.
Like, I would argue that he might be like right after Sela in for ranking these directly. Like he's at least the second best, if not the best.
He's not right after in terms of damage, though. He's right after in terms of like literally everything else he does.
In terms of support, if it's just for his damage, then he'd be down here with like Arlen and Hook over here. But for his support, he's definitely S tier.
Yeah, 100%. Now March,
I love that man.
March, I would say is like a B-ish.
I think you're right. I feel like she's pretty similar to Pard in that Ice is not a very good. I think Ice in general is not a good element for a preservation unit, especially for these two who can freeze people, because they don't want to freeze enemies. They want the enemies to attack them.
I think March suffers a little bit more from it because her ultimate can potentially, not always, but potentially freeze everybody.
Yes, and she also suffers because she needs enemies to attack her teammates in order to do her counter.
Yeah, but that's why she's B tier specifically, because she synergizes insanely well with Clara.
Yeah, I can agree. I do think her shield is very good. I think her counters are very, very good. I think a lot of her kit is actually really, really. She even has a cleanse.
If she was fire type, however.
Yeah. If she had a different element, specifically a enemy delay one.
Yeah, like
then she'd be probably at least A tier.
Fire.
She'd be really, really good.
Yeah.
But the fact is that she does freeze people, and it's kind of unfortunate. Anyway.
Yeah, it's annoying. Natasha, A tier.
Care to explain yourself?
She has a cleanse. She has really good AoE healing, and her regular healing actually can trigger up to 3 times. Oddly enough.
Yes. I agree. I mean, if I'm using either Bailu or Natasha, I'm gonna pick Natasha like every single time because she's just way more consistent. Her cleanse is just way more useful. Bailu doesn't really have the consistency or the cleanse.
I would actually say that because I didn't know this, but because she can actually, I think one of her passes makes it to where it goes from 2 times to 3 times over the course of like 2 extra turns.
Yeah,
it makes her way better than Bailu.
Oh yeah, no,
because essentially it just means that if they're getting targeted and they don't have shields or anything, Natasha doesn't really have to worry about it because they keep getting healed.
That's true. That's it. Like the only condition she needs to meet in order to maximize her healing is having your ally, at least one of your allies, be below 30% HP, which is around when you would want to use her healing anyway. So it's not all that difficult of a condition to meet. And she just does tons of healing. It's just very, very reliable. I think that's the best way to describe her. Reliable.
Yes.
Pela,
I consider that one a mixed bag.
As someone who has
good.
played,
she's not bad.
As someone who has Blade, and since Blade has like literally no good support, no, except for Bronya and Pela, those are his best supports. So I personally love Pela. I use her all the time. He has one of the best free-to-play light cones. Continue, sorry.
I would say that she also kind of suffers from ice. I think ice is just the worst type in general.
I would disagree. Because Pela doesn't, like I said, preservation units, they want to be attacked, so stopping your enemy from attacking you is bad for them. But Pela, she's just all about that offense. She doesn't care about being attacked. She's just all in, all offense. So it doesn't matter as much to her.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying it's mainly because of just personal. I just think the ice element is just by far the worst one. Because, like, Quantum also does what it does, but if you hit that thing that's entangled up to, like, 5 times, they actually get increased damage when they recover, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And in prison, it actually also slows down the enemy, so it takes them longer to do their turns and all that. Ice just delays their actions by 1 turn, that's it.
Yeah, I can agree. But I think her element isn't as much of a factor as when you take into consideration the rest of her kit. Because
yeah, but that's why I'm saying she's A tier is because she suffers from ice.
I agree.
Specifically.
Other
than that, she's just solid.
Like, you could say solid as ice. Anyway. Or as solid water. Like they have in the game. But no, I agree that she's not S tier level. But I just really, really like her because, like I said, she has the best Lycone, best agility Lycone at least. The one that gives energy back whenever you hit someone who has defense shred on them.
Now, if she was like an imaginary unit, you could make an argument for S tier.
Yeah, I can see that. I if I don't end up getting Kafka, which will make me very sad if I don't, at the very least, I have a built-up Pela now, and I can just spend my money on Jing Liu and have like a nice little ice tube. So,
yeah, and I just want Crystal.
She'd be very, very good for that. And right now, she's like the best support for ice DPSs as well, which is another factor going for her. She's very, very, very good, very good unit. Similar to Natasha, just very reliable.
King Shui.
King Shui.
Draw your last pathetic card so I can end this, Yugi.
My grandpa's deck has no pathetic cards, Kaiba. But it does contain the unstoppable Exodia.
I would put C or D.
I think
her kit is entirely random based. Unless you use her ultimate.
Okay, so here's the thing with King Shui, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yes, you do need the RNG to be in your favor. But the other thing about that is that when it is in your favor, her damage goes like all the way up to like A or even S tier.
Yeah, but like I said, it's the RNG that makes her down to C at the very least. You can bump her up to B if you want.
I think my heart goes to her. I just really, really like this character just in general. She also benefits from like the best DPS set in the game, like except for Sela.
I'm not denying that. It's just that the RNG bit really makes it suffer. I don't think she's A because of it.
I love her animations. I love her just visual design. Like I said, the RNG does not help her. But I just love her. I think she's fun.
Making stairs.
That's true. What do you think a tier list is, Jacob? I mean, I gotta find two. Give me some other like A tier units. I'll do 2 more. Anyway, find it. Okay, so I think B is fair. I don't think any higher than B because realistically she's just not. Because if you don't have the RNG, she just doesn't do much.
If people's complain about Clara's inconsistency, then they need to have that complaint with Changewei.
That's true. So yeah, no, I think B is fair. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Sampo.
Anyway, Sampo.
書いてみてお兄ちゃん。
あ、俺の名前はね。
Okay, Sampo without Kafka is like D or C. Sampo with Kafka is like B or A.
No, I've seen him do like a bunch of damage on his own without.
Is that
Kafka.
in Simulated Universe or is that in like
yeah, I guess Simulated Universe is probably the thing here. So I don't really know where to put him. I don't have him.
I'm gonna go.
And personally, I hate his personality.
I don't know. I think he's fun, personally.
His personality just makes me think of Diet Deadpool.
Okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna go with B. Because I think his damage is more reliable than probably Himiko. Because I do think he does a decent amount of damage. He's also easy to build because DOT units are just easy to build.
And he breaks wind resistance faster than Dan Heng.
Yes, I do think he's better. In my personal opinion, he's better than Dan Heng. And, you know, he heals more than Bailu, so obviously he has to go in B.
Serval, B or A, I think.
Serval's another unit that I really, really like. I consider her a similar level to Jing Yuan, except she's able to get her damage out a little bit faster, which is usually better.
And, like, Jing Yuan's main damage output is his Lightning Lord, which has, like, a random hit to it, but Serval has a smaller AoE for a little less damage, which is like a good trade in my opinion.
There's also another benefit that she has over Jing Yuan, and that is that she's extremely skill point friendly. In that once you get her skill the one time, you're pretty much good. You just spam her basic attack for the rest of the fight.
Yeah.
So she's pretty much a skill point generator, which is very nice. I think A is fair. Yeah.
So Silverwool was A or S?
I think she's S. I mean, again, if I'm putting Bronya...
I don't like the fact that her debuffs are random.
If I'm putting Bronya in S tier, partially because she like breaks the mechanics of the game, then I feel like I kind of have to put Silverwolf in S tier as well.
Yeah, I know, but like I said, I don't like the fact that her regular debuffs, not her like specialized debuffs, her bugs are random.
That's true, but they're mostly inconsequential anyway. Like
I know, but that's just my personal gripe with it.
Yeah, that's fair. It'd be kind of cool if you could like select which one you want to apply and have it be the one that gets applied.
Then she would probably be S+ tier.
Yeah. I mean, she's already broken enough as it is. We don't need to make her even more broken, you know.
Yeah.
Very, very good. I really like her. Anyway.
Su Shang, I think, is A. Just a solid A. The damage is reliable and it does a lot of damage.
Yeah,
but it's not like
that. She also has like
S tier though.
She also has some of the better Eidolons for any character.
Yeah.
Giving her more skill points and also giving her better break effect, which is what she kind of wants anyway. Very good. I don't think there's much to debate on that one. Anyway.
Ting Yun, I'm kind of in the middle.
Like as B or C?
No, I was thinking like A or B. I was like, I'm kind of in the middle of those two.
Okay, so the thing with Ting Yun, right?
Because the reason why I think she's like B-ish is because she's way too squishy.
I agree. Yes, the fact that she's really, really squishy is not very good, and I do think her skill until you get her like E2 is mostly inconsequential. But the fact that she can give you tons of energy, can give you a fair amount of damage bonus in addition to that energy, like her ultimate definitely carries her and makes her like a top tier unit. If her ultimate was even like half as good as it is, she'd probably be closer to like C or D.
Yeah.
But the fact is, her ultimate is very, very good, and it's
like her ultimate alone basically gives you like 70% energy.
I think it gives you just a flat 50 energy, which is like at least like 40% of most people's ultimates. So
yeah,
It's very, very good. I find it very, very funny that they basically killed her off in the story quest.
Yeah, I don't really know what that was about, to be honest. I don't know if that was just the body of that lady or if
Well, to be fair, the characters themselves don't know what happened.
yeah.
They don't know what's going on either. They're just like, she's probably dead.
But they
Maybe
do
she's
think
not.
that it was like a fake Teen Yun though.
Yes. At the very
Anyway,
least, like, yeah. Anyway, we're moving on. Okay, we're
I'm
gonna
pretty sure that's
split.
supposed to be fire and then physical because the guy has the bat.
We'll do it that way. We'll say female is the fire one. I think Fire MC is at least A or B.
I would put B. The shield is not fantastic, but it does give damage reduction and a taunt, so that's pretty darn good.
Fire MC is one of those characters where I feel like, yes, the shield is weaker than say Japard, but the overall kit is probably better than Japard's overall kit.
Yeah,
So,
I can agree with that, but like I said, the shield is horrible.
that's true. But
But
she
at
can
least
make up
it
for it
shields
somewhat with her
everything in
skill.
her kit.
She can make it up for it somewhat with her skill at least, by reducing the amount of damage you take.
But there's also like the benefit of like literally every move she does, it's a shield for everybody.
Yeah. So like on average, you're probably applying similar levels of shielding. It's just not, one huge shield at the start. Anyway. Physical MC.
Physical, probably C.
That's what I was thinking too. I mean,
it doesn't do that great of damage, but it does have like a little bit of an AoE to it.
it's good for
And
breaking
it's like
stuff.
the only physical character you have at the beginning.
Yeah, that's true. Not all of us can have, Clara, Jacob.
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, I think C is perfectly fair. They're kind of just okay. I would argue that a lot of the characters we have in B are better. So yeah, I think C is fine.
I say well is S.
I agree. For like, okay, so if you are playing a team,
I would even say he's kind of teetering on S plus.
if you like, let me move this up. I think probably hovers around here, and I'm gonna put right here.
Yeah.
I think if you are playing a team, or like you said, ice is bad because it delays enemy actions and whatnot. But if you are playing like an imaginary team and you are trying to like delay the enemy's actions and whatnot, then he is the absolute undisputed king of preventing people from doing things.
Yeah, his whole kit revolves around doing the imaginary debuff, which not only slows them down by one turn, but actually slows them down.
His skill's really good. His ultimate is really good. His element is really, really good. I love this.
Eidolons are broken.
I even love the character because he's a freaking weeb like the rest of us.
Don't fuck with me! I have the power of God and anime on my side! Wait,
Yeah.
He's awesome. Like I love that in like one of the text conversations you get with him. If you have his character, he basically like is like asking you what kind of like anime you would want him to make if he was ever making one. It's great.
But
Awesome.
another thing I like about him is the fact that he's essentially a Stellaron.
He's a Stellaron.
Yeah, because in Honkai Impact 3rd, the Herishers, which he's the Herisher of Reason,
Okay.
are literally born to destroy everything.
Are you telling me that it's gonna secretly be revealed that like not secretly be revealed? It's gonna be revealed that Welt was secretly in a nook the whole time?
No.
Wouldn't that be a plot twist?
Yeah, that'd be a plot twist, but yeah, like he's essentially like the main character where he had a Herisher's core inside of him. So he's the body of a Stellaron, like the main character. So I thought that was pretty cool.
This is like an alternate realities deal, right? Where like the previous Honkai game is like its own separate reality, and this is like a alternate reality within like the multiverse of Hoyo games, basically.
Yeah, so instead of Herishers, they're Stellaron.
I see. So basically what you're really telling me is that he is the true almighty king, and he should be at the top.
Well, I don't think we've seen his full power yet.
I mean, hey, they're giving Dan Heng a new form. Maybe they'll give all the other like express riders new forms.
Because you have to keep in mind, at the very beginning, we were about to like pretty much blow up a Stellaron. and destroy everything on the space station.
with
And literally with the flick of a cane, he knocked you out.
Yeah, he was like, please, you think you're a Stellaron? Hold my beer, and he just freaking jumped in.
Yeah, like I don't think we've seen his true power yet, which is why I'm
Fair
like,
enough.
later on he could be broken.
Then freaking what was Welt doing when freaking Jing Yuan was getting stabbed by Dragon Dun Hung? Then
He was just like, this is happening now.
all right, well we talked about Welt. Let's move on. Next is Yanqing.
I don't like him.
I think
his like damage is S tier worthy, but his like whole thing is just crit damage oriented.
I don't think his damage is S tier worthy. I'm not even sure if it's A tier worthy. Sorry, what'd you say? Sorry.
Oh, I was saying that like if you build like his crit damage insanely and get a decent amount of crit rate, it can do comparable damage to at least Jing Yuan. Like even an unbuilt Jing Yuan, I guess. Yeah. But personally, I just don't like the guy.
Okay, well, here's my thoughts, right? I don't like his personality because literally every time we've ever interacted with him in the story, he's come across as just a complete and total jerk to like everyone around him.
And a whiny brat.
I also don't love his passives. Like you said, I can see the potential. Even then, I think he'd only be like A tier. But
yeah, I said,
I can see where he'd be good. But the fact is, you pretty much have to use him with Jeopard. If you don't have Jeopard, you're not using Yanqing.
Yeah.
And if you do use him and he does get hit, even by like an AoE attack or just by random just stray attack, because this game loves to do that sometimes, and he takes even just a little tiny like 1 HP sliver of health away from him, then one of his major passives that increases his damage is just gone.
Yeah. That's like another one of his passives, just make it to where he doesn't get hit as often.
Yes, it does.
But true AoEs are just like, F you.
Yeah. And as you get further and further into the game, a lot of enemies start doing more damage than even your Jeopard can save you from.
Yeah.
So, I do think his ultimate is very, very good. Yes, because it does get. I think even without his passive up, it gives him a bunch of crit rate and crit damage. I think it does anyway. So his ultimate is very, very good. But I think overall, I don't think I can go higher than B.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And now we can talk about. Oh wait, no, there's Yukong. We'll talk about.
Yeah,
Yukong.
there's 3 characters that are out right now. So let's go with Yukong.
Which character are you talking about?
The redhead and not in Bybiter Lune, but we got to play as him, so we know how he works.
Let's talk about Yukong first. I love this character, and I want to put her at least in A, maybe S.
Yeah, I think her buffs are really, really good. I don't think they're as good as Bronya's though, so I would put her in A.
Have you done her story quest?
No, not yet.
Oh my god, it's a good story quest. I loved it.
I would put her above Tingyun.
I'm inclined to put her closer to the top of A. Like I just really like this character.
Yeah, okay.
And if you are struggling to get your crit rate and your crit damage up to where you want it to be, she's got your back, man. She will give you that crit rate. She will give you that crit rate.
She also synergizes insanely well with Clara.
What way?
So.
I don't.
Well, follow-up attacks don't count as a turn.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, so you can increase Clara's crit rate, crit damage, and attack percent, which is what her counter is based off of. And you now are hitting for like 40k per counter. Not even like enhanced counter, it's just 40k per counter. And I don't even have a fully built Clara.
Yeah, I agree. I think she's just. If there's one problem with her, is that you do need to pay attention to the speed of your characters. Like she really, really, really wants your characters to be certain speeds.
Yeah,
Like if she's 140.
At least for the Clara team, you just want her to be slightly faster than Clara.
Sorry, what was that?
So at least for the Clara team, you just want her to be like 1 speed higher than Clara.
Yeah. So she does require a little more speed tuning to get her just the right speed, just get and the rest of your team at just the right speed. but I think that's not as big of a deal when you consider like the amount of buffing she does. And and again, if we are considering their characters and like their stories into consideration, she'd be like S tier for me. I just really like her.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that Redhead's out now, isn't he?
Luca.
Yeah, I have no idea what he's like.
I really like him. Because I have used him mostly in the new trial stuff they have going on right now. Like the event where you get to use trial characters. I think he's pretty good. I really like his ultimate. I really like his skill. I really like his enhanced basic attack. I think he's just a really good overall kit. And I'm inclined to put him either A or B. Not nowhere near, and like, if I'm directly comparing him to someone like Silver Wolf, right? Nowhere near as good, obviously.
Yeah. It's whatever you want it to be. I don't really know about Luca.
I think it's in a situation where it's kind of like Sampo. I think Luca with Kafka reaches like S tier almost, but without her, he's probably around B. He's probably fine.
Yeah, okay.
And let's talk about some of these real quick.
I don't remember Fushuan's supposed kit.
But what I heard is that she basically is just a better card.
Now, in terms of personality, I love her.
Well, hey, you know, she has the English voice actor for Power from Chainsaw Man. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So yeah, I think that's very cool. It's just a fun little fact I thought I'd bring up.
But the reason why I like her personality so much is that she's like a super serious person all the time, but it leads to very funny moments. Like, oh, can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, it was when they were talking to like the leader of the Alchemy Commission. You know, that enemy that you fought.
Yeah.
And I like how she just basically was this
lady.
Yeah, but I just like how she basically, to sum it up, was like, "Why are you so stupid?"
Well, yeah, I mean, she freaking pulled on like some kind of freaking master plan where she's like, "Oh, we known you were evil the whole time. We just waited for you to show yourself and to see if we had evidence to condemn you or whatever."
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Like the whole time.
We already knew. We already had suspicions on many of the members over there, and then you decided, "Hey, opportunity! Let's take it." Why are you so stupid?
Hey, you're like fish, meat, bait.
Yeah, fish, meat, bait.
Exactly. But no, her kit is apparently she reduces the amount of damage your team takes by 70% for 3 turns through her skill.
Jesus.
Yeah, just through her skill, by the way, not her ultimate.
What's the ultimate do?
Well, apparently it does tons of just quantum damage based on her HP to enemies, like it's like a true AoE thing. It heals your team, and also resets one of her passives, which makes it so that she can't fall. Basically, she can't fall below 30% HP. Basically.
Oh dang, that's good.
Because the second she does, I can't remember if it's like heals back or if she like. I saw a thing where apparently she's able to like take whatever her like percentage of missing HP is, which I think it goes up to like 75%, and swap that to being her actual HP. So basically, if she's missing 75% HP, her talent will activate, and now she'll have 75% of her HP.
Oh, okay.
And she can basically absorb her teammates any damage that her teammates take onto herself. Yeah, like I said, she's basically just a card, but like 10 times better.
Jing Yuan's master, I forgot her name.
Jing Liu
is way better than Yang Jing.
I will agree. I've seen the leaks. I like this may surprise you, but I have seen the leak. And her raw damage, even without buffs, is really, really high. I mean, again, like
it's gonna be a have to wait and see moment.
If it is true, then apparently she doesn't have a ton of like complexity to her kit. She just does damage.
Nice.
And there's also just she apparently also takes away her teammates' HP.
Oh.
But
that's probably why she's A tier. I don't like that idea.
I mean, you know, I probably should move her up to S tier. Like I said, she seems just kind of perfect. She's probably A tier, but if you have Blade, literally like the perfect partner. They are best friends. Because he just wants to lose HP. And I think it's very ironic because apparently Blade hates her in the lore. So, I mean, they're like perfect partners in gameplay, but in lore, they're worst enemies.
Alright, when you just said like the best partners, I was like, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us.
Oh my god.
Anyway, which one's Crystal? Because I don't know those two.
Crystal?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. I assume it's this one. I think her name starts with like a J.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know anything about
If that
this
is
character.
if that is Crystal, C tier.
What does she do?
She was that supposed new healer that can put a taunt value on the person she heals for some reason.
Oh, you mean Lynx?
Is that Lynx?
Yeah, Lynx does that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what this character does.
I thought I read that was like Crystal.
I think now that you brought that up, we might as well talk about Lynx. Lynx is basically perfect. It's like a better Natasha.
Okay.
She has a team-wide heal through her ultimate, just like Natasha does. Except she also cleanses everyone on the team whenever she uses it.
Yeah, that's understandable, actually.
Her skill... What's that?
I just don't like the fact that the skill, like, heals somebody and then puts a taunt value on them. No, it's great for Clara, but otherwise, no.
But here's the thing, Jacob. If what I've heard is... Again, this is leaked, so it's not 100% guaranteed. Yeah. If it is true, supposedly she only applies taunts to preservation and destruction units. Everyone else she just heals.
Oh, never mind. This is great.
And apparently at E6 she also increases max HP forever she uses this heal on.
Oh yeah, this is literally perfect for Clara.
And also, again, best friends with this character. Which is why I'm like, man, I kind of want Lynx and Jingli, honestly, because I just love Blade. He's so good.
Well, let's be honest. Lynx is not only best friends with Blade, but also best friends with Clara.
Well, she's best friends with everybody.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, like,
wait,
Clara...
she applies the taunts, and unlike March, who freezes people, she won't freeze people. Therefore, they'll be able to attack Clara more often. So she will just be a direct improvement over March. And plus, in that team, you won't
if
even
you really want to
heal.
mitigate the inconsistency of the random attacking thing, you can put those two together with Clara.
Sure, I guess. Ultimately, I think she's kind of just really, really good, and I'm even inclined to put her like all the way up here to S tier. If she's basically just Natasha, better.
To be honest, I think she is S tier because of that AoE cleanse. Because there's a lot of like mini boss enemies that apply a like full AoE debuff.
Oh yeah, like that new
not to mention all the frogs that can like blow that weird breath that lower your defenses.
Pretty much every enemy in this game applies a debuff to your team pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, they also introduced that new enemy that for the 1.2 story stuff. That the one that was like the leader of the Sanctus Medicus people, and
the wind shear lady.
Yeah, she applies wind shears to literally your whole team, and she also applies max HP reduction to your whole team. Pretty much all the time.
That's gonna be the future of this game. And yeah, AoE cleanse is really good.
I agree, and that's another reason why I think she's also really good. Fushwan is that reducing the amount of damage your team takes just universally.
70%. Imagine that with Clara.
Yeah.
Who already does it,
remember, it's a 70% reduction, and she absorbs some of the damage they take into herself, supposedly.
Yeah, but that's the glory about with Clara. Clara, I'm pretty sure we'll just make it to where it's 100% damage reduction.
Yes, Clara. When Fushwan comes out, Clara will become the freaking Deku of this game.
I am immortal.
Anyway, yeah.
I don't know her.
I don't know what she does either. I don't know what she does.
I like her design though. Let's rate those two on the design.
Which design do you like better?
I like the robot chick more.
This one?
No.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. She was already in the story, and she was like a robot character, and she actually looks pretty cool.
Hey, if we're doing based on purely on design, where would you put her?
Probably like a B to an A.
We'll go B.
Like she has that like sophisticated look to her, and I like that.
Fair enough. I think this character's design is better. First, if we're going based on design for these two characters, then I'd probably put her in A.
Yeah, that's fine. She
Now,
has like a more pop idol to her than me.
well, she is like a YouTuber or something.
Yeah, subscribe for more.
Yeah.
Anyway, and by Renner Lune, I think he's S tier.
I've already explained this to you. I saw his leaks. He might be better than Sela.
From the gameplay alone that we got, I think he's by far one of the best damage units in the entire game. So yeah, I can see that.
Because okay, so here's the thing. There's like an argument you could make for Sela technically still being better because of her resurgence and all the extra turns she gets.
Yeah, but he only needs like one turn, doesn't he?
Yeah, who needs the extra turns if everything's dead already?
Yeah, and can he use like his skill multiple times to get like a pseudo AoE type of thing?
Yes. Let me explain what I've heard. I don't know if it's 100% true. Again, take it with a grain of salt. But apparently, he can use his ultimate, which deals damage, of course. It's a blast ultimate, meaning it deals damage to... no, wait, I can't remember if it's blast or not. But it deals damage. But more importantly, it gives him 2 stacks of one of his passives. And this passive makes it so that he gets his own like skill point meter. And each stack of this passive counts as 1 skill point. And he is just free to use at any time.
Yeah, and since you want to enhance his basic attack with skill points,
yes,
up to level 3, that's really good.
Yes, if he gets 2 of those stacks, then he can just use that plus 1 extra stack from the regular skill point meter. To deal, I think the multiplier I saw was like somewhere around 500%, which is like almost like 200% more than Sela's ultimate.
Jesus.
Yes, it is an extremely strong ability. Which is why I was like, okay, this man will deal tons of... If that's true, he will deal tons of damage. All in one go.
Yeah, and
he can do that literally every turn.
The pistol resistance, he's literally the best element in the game, imaginary.
Yeah. And he'll be able to do that not just 1 turn, but also like 2 turns in a row if you have enough skill points for it.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
And if you build him with the energy regeneration rate.
And again, just for doing this ability, he also gets a bunch of extra stacks of damage percent bonuses, and as well as crit damage bonuses, just for doing that normally. Just for doing it. He pretty much has it all. He's pretty much insane.
I just think it's funny how he goes from being a C tier unit to an S tier unit.
Yes.
Just by growing the horns and a tail.
It's quite the glow up, really.
I think the funny thing is that he just grows horn, tail, hair, and then he loses his spear.
He gets a new outfit? What do you mean?
I know, but like, I know it's like a full-on design change, but I just think it's funny how I got stronger when I lost my weapon.
Yeah, he gets the drip buff. The most important buff.
The most important buff of all, drip.
Exactly.
He controls water, so it makes sense.
Now, this is our list so far. Real quick, do you want to like reorder anyone within the tier? Closer to the letter means it's a higher level within the tier. Do you want to rearrange anything?
I think Himiko should go closer to the C.
At the top of it?
Yeah,
I can agree to that.
point, yeah.
Let's see. Anyone else?
I'm not gonna...
Probably should move these up.
Yeah, probably.
They're pretty good. I would say Sir Wolf is a very universal character. Like, in that sense, she might actually be above Sela.
I would put her above Sela. She is a universal character entirely. Just the only downside is when you use her, like, applying a random weakness to an enemy, it can be her own, and that's...
Yeah.
If you don't have, like, a full quantum team, that can kind of suck.
To be fair, as you get more characters, it's easier to build teams around that fact, so where you're only applying the elements that you want to apply. So
yeah.
Anyway,
but right now we don't really have enough units for that.
I think Kafka could probably go a little higher up.
I would say right above, like either right above or right below Blade.
We'll go below. And again, if everything I've heard about Fushman is true, she's also really good. Like probably similar levels of like Luosha good.
Yeah, I put it right below Luocha. Because Luocha can heal everybody, and it can be like a passive heal with damage, so
True.
that's
I mean,
better in my
Fu Xuan
opinion.
heals everyone too.
Yeah, but she also, like... I get that, but I'm saying, like, Luocha literally just can give passive healing,
True.
not just damage taking.
That's true. Yeah, I think you can make an argument that either one is better than the other, depending on which scenario
If
you're
you
in.
put them on top of each other, there you go.
Anyway, let's see. I personally really think Jingli will be really strong, so I'm gonna move her up.
Yeah.
Put her name right next to. I think she'll
Right
probably
next
be
to her
better.
apprentice.
I think she'll probably be better than Jingyuan personally.
Probably.
Let's
I think Natasha needs to be closer to the A, though.
like above Jingyuan, you think?
No.
There.
I think just above Yukong.
Okay, that's fair. I still don't know what these characters do.
Neither do I, but
Hey, you know what?
they look cool.
Here, give me a second.
Just make another tier that just says design.
Yeah, the cool. We're gonna make up the cool list. Oh, well, let me do
The
it.
design tier.
There we go.
Yeah. Above.
We'll make it like white color.
That's Arlen's.
Oh, whoops. Sorry.
No, I was saying put the tier above Arlen's because that's how bad Arlen is. He doesn't even have good
Fair
design. New drip.
Yes, new drip. And move her there, and move her there.
Yeah,
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's see,
Everything seems about right.
It's probably more fair to put Yanqing closer to the B.
Yeah, probably like either. Yeah, right there, probably.
Let's see. And it probably, I do think his ultimate is really good, so it's probably fair to put him there.
Now I'll put March a bit lower, to be honest.
Like at the bottom.
Yeah, because of the freezing thing.
It's just unfortunate if a character wants to be attacked, having freeze or imaginary or even quantum, because that also has like a slight delay to it that it's added. It's just not very good.
It
for
just
those
doesn't
characters.
help.
It just doesn't. Yeah, you're right. It just doesn't help. It's just not very desirable. Let's see. Let's see. I think I'd probably put physical above Dan Heng.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I'd
There's
put-
not really many things that are weak to wind.
I mean, I'm coming across all kinds of things that are weak to wind with Blade.
I'm not denying that there is a lot of things. I'm saying, like, compared to the other elements, it's not as much.
That's fair. I just don't like the idea that you can't buff his entire kit. You have to like apply buffs at like certain times. It's just kind of annoying to deal with.
It's weird.
I do think Hook is a little better than Herta.
Yeah, it's understandable.
I think they're pretty interchangeable though. These two look cool, so they get the trip tier. And Arlen is Arlen, so he gets the bottom of the barrel.
He doesn't even get like the benefit of rip either. His outfit is really stupid.
Yeah,
it's just like an oversized jacket.
That's true. Okay, well, this is our final list. Do you think it looks good?
Yeah.
Great. Well,
in
now
all
in the
honesty,
future,
I think Arlen looks like a Kingdom Hearts character.
He does kind of, now that I think about it. In the future, if we ever have a disagreement about where characters place, we can defer to our old list now.
Yeah.
There we go.